how's space utilization changed? Okay, it's changed a lot. I'd say we're seeing, well, utilization is one thing, but it's actually how spaces are being used. So, in the past, people would focus on just purely, square footage, cost per square foot, and you would try to cram everybody down into the smallest space possible. I think what's changed is that now there's much more of a need to attract and retain the best talent. So you're really trying to create a diverse set of spaces. And that's, at least from my opinion, how it's changed.
Yeah, so how is co-working or flex space, affecting larger brands compared to smaller brands? So I would say that flexible office is necessary for no matter what company you are. Headcount's changing, needs are changing. You don't want to commit to a 10-year lease when your operating plan is 2 or 3 years. So because of that, companies are really trying to tie their lease obligations and the underlying real estate portfolio to the speed and life cycle of a company's operating plan. And with that, more and more companies are moving toward having some sort of percent of their portfolio at a flexible level. That being said, I think a lot of companies are using critical dates and lease expirations as a way to catapult them into creating more flexibility within their portfolio.
I can answer that. The fear of recession, it's not really a fear of recession. I think it's just good business hygiene to always have enough flexible space. And really think about, we're managing a financial asset. So, you always have to think about, what if we expand? What if we shrink? Both. So we're also going to types of buildings that would be easy to sublease. So the nicer the building, the more desirable it is. So, and also thinking about using co-working and flexible space, because that's a way for us to quickly get in and get out of spaces should we need to ratchet back the amount of space we need.
Yeah, and I would add, right, the future brings uncertainty. That is what the future is, right? And with uncertainty, you need to have all your options open and create flexibility. So as companies may decide that they want to go from 100,000 to 50,000, well, another company is also doing the same thing. So you can start marrying in like a jigsaw puzzle a lot of these different pieces from a flex office provider perspective, and really be able to help migrate and transform a company's portfolio. So a lot of times in bad times, companies are writing off and taking large reserves on their balance sheet into their P&L. This will help allow kind of that flexibility that they don't have to take that and have that pain.
Great question. So we're really focused on employee experience. And number one is we had to create a new employee experience. Because as we've grown and we've implemented a location strategy, our employee experience has been really around making it easy for employees to use the space. So, and making it easy for employees to do their best work at Uber. So how do you do that? You do that through a variety of things. First of all, being in the right location. Number two, providing this diversity of areas to work in that are, some are quiet, some are team rooms. So, work is not homogeneous. You have to provide different areas. And then lastly, an appropriate set of amenities, from the right type of food in the cafeteria to gyms to open spaces outside.
Yeah, and I think from a flexible office perspective, right, like we are there to help support the customer and the client. So what they need to activate their space is what's important to us. So that's where we partner to really understand and tailor our solution to what those needs are. Real estate is really the only place a company can physically put their culture out to their employees, right? And because of that, space takes this huge precedent where maybe it didn't before, it was just a commodity, and now it's really a differentiator when you're trying to retain and attract talent.
Okay, I can speak to the Uber ones. Yes, the answer is yes. We're doing several large projects around the world right now, but we're doing it in the context of a strategy, which is our new location strategy, which is completely focused on talent. So we have obviously our new headquarters here in San Francisco, which is a little over 1 million square feet, but we just announced our Dallas location, a Chicago location. We have Amsterdam, Mexico City, Bangalore, Hyderabad, various other locations around the world. And fortunately or unfortunately, we're doing them all at once. So it's, we're launched the strategy and now we're implementing the strategy. So it's a lot of work. It's very excited about all of them because it allows us that opportunity to implement a new workplace experience and new design.
Yeah, from Knotel's perspective, we're excited to continue to expand. We are in 15 cities, and the plan is to continue to grow to the top 30 cities around the world. And really be able to provide this service to where enterprises are consuming space, right? So the cities that Mike just mentioned, but also other cities around the world that really comprise of the vast majority of consumption by enterprise.
Well, anytime I can meet with my peers and folks in the industry, I love it. I get, some great ideas. I certainly don't have all the answers, so love the interaction, love the time spent with folks in the industry.
Yeah, for me, it's the same thing, right? It's interacting with peers, understanding what they're doing, what I'm doing, how we can, learn from each other. This is my first time going to a conference, being on a non-end user side and moving to the service provider side. So it's been really interesting to kind of just see, from a different perspective, what I used to take for granted by being on the end user side, right? So it's great learning. I think this industry is continuing to evolve and change so rapidly that it's really important for conferences like Future Offices to really continue to learn and just expand capabilities.